One of my favorite pastimes as a kid was playing pretend. Now, keep in mind, this was when I was like 6. Okay, I'm not weird anymore. But I loved being able to pretend I had magic powers. I could ride a dragon. I could be a dragon if I wanted to and cut out the middleman. And until I discovered how sick video games were when I got my DS, books, specifically fiction, were one of the ways I loved entertaining myself and sneaking out of reality. I've started writing at least 5 different books between the ages of 10 and 20 and got within 3 chapters of finishing at least one of them. The trouble is they weren't very good, so I quit. But recently I reignited my passion for reading and writing. So naturally the thought crept in my mind again that I could write a book. I've had many short stories that I've written the last few years, most of which haven't seen the light of day at all, to be fair. But in my attempt to come up with a book-length idea that will hold water, I've started to wonder if I'm creative at all. And the thought I had to myself a few days ago was, have I unlearned creativity? I say this not because I can't be creative, but because this thing has made us a society of consumers, not creators. Maybe that's too simplistic of a statement. Obviously, some crazy creative people have come up with stories that are original and engaging and beautiful, but I often have a problem myself with coming up with ideas because I don't really have any. One of the most common pieces of advice for writers is just write something, and I catch myself often going, okay, yeah, but what? I have to wait for like a spur of inspiration. I don't want to wait for a book idea to just like fall into my lap. I want to work through an idea that I'm passionate about. And I have this largely unresearched and possibly incorrect idea that the best authors consume less mainstream media. When we spend all our time consuming by watching YouTube, movies, books, other people's art, those aren't interesting experiences to write about. If I wrote an autobiography, would most of the pages be about the videos and movies that I watched? And a lot of the best authors were people who lived through war, grief, social discrimination, and other experiences that severely change a person. What then could some random guy from Ohio talk about? I've lived most of my life happy, comfortable, complacent, on a screen for entertainment and work. The irony of all this is that the thing that changed my mind about it is a YouTube video, which is my primary time waster. It's a video by Jared Henderson. He made a video called Why We Can't Focus, where he says,
focus is a skill that you have to develop. And if we're watching television all the time, well, we aren't training ourselves to be deep and reflective thinkers, especially not in the way that we would if we were reading good books. So then when it comes time to focus on something, well, you can't do it. You never learned how.
And I think this is the reason that phones have impaired our ability to focus. We've unlearned that ability. And he says in another video,
our phone is essentially a kind of entertainment tool. And tools are great, but we have to keep in mind that when we start using a tool, we don't just gain something, we also lose something.
So basically, my conclusion was correct. I have unlearned creativity. I've given my time over to an entertainment tool, and by doing so, I've unlearned how to entertain myself. I don't play pretend anymore. And isn't that kind of what fiction writing is? I'd like to leave this video on something optimistic, since I don't want it to be me complaining about the creative process for 4 minutes. It's natural to wonder with our finite existence if we can really do anything meaningful, but we can change and improve. My lack of creative ideas is a solvable problem. And really, if I just write something, it's working toward that eventual goal. So don't just count your days. Live them.